see. There we are.
Oh.
All right. We're still a little, as a meeting is now streaming. There we go. And then it says setting up your meeting for the YouTube live on one side. And then the other side says meeting is now live streamed on YouTube. So we'll pretend like we are live streamed on YouTube. How's that?
Okay.
There we are. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let me
We're
pause
still a little.
this. I want to just stop that. Okay. All right. There we go. So we are officially live on YouTube. Hi, everybody. And welcome to my channel as well. Welcome to my channel for Mortgage Lending Mastery. So this is called Beyond the Podcast. And for those of you that haven't had a chance to listen in on this, about a year after we release an episode of Mortgage Lending Mastery, we go back to it's sort of like an encore, right? We go back to our original guests and find out what are they doing now? What beyond the podcast? What's happening in their lives? What's happening in their business? What's their take on what's happening in the marketplace? And with me today is Dave Corwin, who is with the USDA. And Dave, I'll let you tell everybody what you do here in just a moment, because a year ago I had your bio, but now I don't. So let me just quickly, and I'll put this in the notes as well for everybody. The title of the podcast that we did was called The Secrets of Mortgage Lending Success. It was episode number 321, so you can look for it that way. And it was released on May 12th, 2022. And I'll also put the link in as well, so you'll have all of the details so that you can go listen to the original episode that I did with Dave. So with that, Dave, welcome back. I know we started chatting on the green room, and I stopped you and said, no, save all this stuff. We want all this stuff to be, out there for the world to see. So we're so happy to have you here. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. Doing well.
Good. So, when we talked last time, you were so excited, and, all of us were. I mean, definitely we were all excited about what USDA was coming up with, unbeknownst to all of us, experiencing sort of the market that we have now, high inflation. Is there a recession? Is there not a recession? Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Low inventory, high credit, right? The highest credit use that we've had in our history. The highest number of applications for 401k, which I think is going to bite us in the tushy, come spring when taxes are due. And, car loans. My gosh, I cannot believe the average household has car loan payments of $1,000 a month. Give us a little take on what you're thinking from your perspective about the marketplace, and then we'll talk about what's going on with USDA.
Sure. I agree with you. It is a tough market out there, and that's the biggest thing we hear from everybody. We reached out to a bunch of our bigger lenders this spring and just had them throw at us what could we do to be better? Not promising we can, but what can we do? And all across the board, one of the biggest things was debt ratios. We need you to go higher in debt ratios. And unfortunately, while we've looked at that, we've looked historically when we were higher on those and delinquency rates and everything. And just unfortunately, that's not an area that we're willing to bend. And but you're right, because of how the economy is, it's an area that's one of the biggest struggles. People can't afford the home. The price of homes is going through the roof, and yet wages are not going up enough. Inflation's going crazy. It's just a horrible situation for anyone who's not in that, upper 10% maybe.
Yeah, it is. I think it's tough. I mean, everybody that we talk to, and I think what's happened is it's like we could go into freeze, fawn, fight, all of those, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And I think that's where everybody's at. As some people are fighting, some are just fleeing and saying, forget it, I'm not going to worry about it. Others are, fawning and just saying, I can't figure out what I'm going to be doing. And, even from my perspective, we're selling the home I'm sitting in to my daughter and my son-in-law, because they want to move where we live, but they can't find anything in their price range. So we're doing a gift of equity, and we're going to, do all kinds of fun stuff to be able to help them afford the house. But the challenge is, and we love it because we've got all this equity and we don't like it sitting there. But now the challenge is, where do we go? And I think most sellers, and I don't know why we're going to take this leap, because we're a little nervous about, we have no idea where we're going, but we know we could live here if we had to. We don't want to, but if we needed to. But I think that's why everyone is in the fawn stage, or that freeze stage, because they just don't know where they're going to go. And so it stagnated the market. It's so funny. Her house is on the market right now, and she lives near the Pentagon. And normally, you put it on the market, it's gone. It's been on the market now since August 3rd. And the feedback from people isn't about the house. It's, well, we're worried about interest rates and the price of the house. And we're thinking, why are you looking? Why are you even out in the market looking at a house if you're worried about prices and rates? Why are you even looking at homes? I mean, so that I don't get that. Maybe you can explain that one. But yeah, so I think, it's the whole market is stagnated, just waiting, to change. What do you think's going to change it from your perspective?
Oof. I I mean, eventually you wouldn't think this could be sustained. Um,
Right.
again, with wages where they are, with the price of homes, and of course with the rates. I don't know. I kind of take the rates always with a grain of salt, because historically a 7% rate still pretty darn good.
Yeah.
We've just been spoiled over the last decade or
Yeah.
so. But
Yeah.
but yeah, because it's coming into play with all those other factors. Something's eventually got to give, because yeah, you can't sustain things like this.
Right.
And unfortunately, that probably means, yeah, whenever something has to
Change.
change, it's going to have to change in a negative way. We're going to have to experience some pain first. And of course, it's not those people at the top 10% that are really going to experience too much pain. It's, you know, the rest of us who work for a living. So,
Yeah, I know. I know. It's going to be pretty interesting to see. Okay. So tell us, and thank you for your perspective, by the way. And so that and so that those that are watching know as well, the Beyond the Podcast is only about 20 minutes long. It's not a full episode. So we just kind of get in and see what's happening. So tell us a little bit about what's going on at USDA. What's happening with you? Do you feel the stagnation that we're feeling out here about, there's really no new products. We can't increase, debt to income ratios. What the heck is going on? Do you feel that as well? Do you feel like, you're pushing stuff out and no one's biting? Or is it that everybody's just sort of holding back and saying, okay, let's be prepared for when happens?
yeah, the numbers obviously over the last few years just continued on a downward trend. Every year is just much worse than the previous. And of course, with our program, that you can't exceed 115% of median household income. You're talking people nowhere near that top percent. So with everyone fighting over such small inventory, our borrowers are losing all the time, because they can't bid up higher. They're lucky if they can find something in their price range, and when they can, there's a cash borrower. there's a cash offer on the table. So yeah,
Oh,
it's a real struggle. So our numbers are unbelievably low. So we are working with lenders and talking with them a lot more than we normally do, just trying to get feedback. What could we do different? What can we do better? We do have some great changes we are discussing and working on. I would have hoped I'd be able to talk to, to you and your audience about them by now. Unfortunately, they're still on the production
really?
floor. We're hammering stuff out. We're seeing what we can do. So we've just been pushing. Like I say, our big effort is our single close construction program, because of course we need affordable inventory out there. And our single close construction program is a great way to do that, because it allows the small builders to stay in the game, where they don't have to finance these. We're financing, and we're putting our guarantee on it right at signing. So before they even put the first nail in anything, the whole process is guaranteed through the USDA. So the builder's safe, the realtor got their commission, the lender is safe knowing, well, we'll still build the home even if something happens to the borrower, and the USDA is backing up the whole thing. So we're trying to push that as much as we can and make sure there's an understanding, because of course, a lot of small builders out there, they don't know about this program yet. A lot of
Yeah.
lenders haven't been fully utilizing it yet.
Right. So is this a spot deal? Are these spot deals, or is this a development? Like I can't imagine
These are
USDA
spot.
would have
These are
a whole
single.
neighborhood. Okay.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I guess we should explain that, right? Because I can speak the language spot. My degree's in architecture, so I get it. Love construction. I love that. But yeah, for those of you that are listening, you're saying what spot? Because just again, a lot of people haven't done some kind of financing. Like I remember when rates started going up, everybody was like, "What's an arm?" I've never done an arm. I've been in the business for 20 years and I've never done an arm. And I taught a whole company on a Saturday afternoon, taught their salespeople about adjustable rate mortgages. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, spot deal is just, in a neighborhood that is in the 115% income range, right? And there's
Well,
one
the
house that's
income
going
range is
to be
just pertains to the applicant, to the borrower's household, not
right,
not
right.
the
I
area they're moving
understand.
into. Okay.
Okay, good. So this isn't even that part of USDA where we have to look up the address and make sure it's part of it. Oh, nice.
No, the
So
only
yeah, as long
reason
as
you
the
have to
client,
look up the address is to see if it's in what we consider a rural area. Other than
yeah,
that, it's all about you, the borrower. Yeah.
oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah. So this would be great for the small builder who just wants to build some affordable housing, et cetera, et cetera. Now I'm surprised are you working with Habitat for Humanity on this too? Is this something that you're
We
doing
we
in
have
conjunction with
yeah, they kind of operate a little more locally, even though it's a national organization. But yes, we
them?
do work with them, and there are spots in the country where we've had more success than others, where our loans are direct loans too, not just the guarantee division I work in with the banks, but also our direct lending
Right.
that work with Habitat. Yep, because it can free up some of their money. A lot of times they can do the financing, but when they're doing a bigger
Yeah.
development, they're kind of limited on funds. So they throw people into our
Yeah. And
program.
sometimes oh, yeah, because sometimes it takes like 3 years to get one of them done. At
Yeah.
least in my area, because it's rural, and then, it takes 3 years because they're trying to figure out the funding. And had they known about USDA, what do you say to the loan officer who's hearing this and going, "Oh, well, this might be an angle that I could go to"? How do they approach a builder? How do they find a local small builder, and how do they approach the builder to introduce this product so that they have a little more understanding about it? So what's some research, some training that you guys provide that, there's education out there for them before they head out there? And then what's the angle from a sales perspective?
Yeah, so there is training on our website. There's brochures and fact sheets and stuff. But of course, anyone can reach out because we're small. You'd think it's government, but yes, we're small though. We have a very small program. You can get someone on the phone. You can get with my team by email, by phone, easy enough, and we'll talk to you. We'll help you out with that. I would say your local home builders association. Try to get in on one of their meetings. Or if they have a little conference or something, get in with them because they'll be able to get the word to a lot of those little local builders. But when you're talking to the local builder, the biggest selling point, again, with our program over all the others, is that our guarantee goes on right at signing. So that builder knows if anything happens to this client, what if they wig out? Well, I'm worried they don't have enough money. They're doing 100% financing with the USDA. It doesn't matter. The loan was signed, the lender has it, it's guaranteed. The lender is going to continue to work with you, the builder, and you're going to continue to build a house per the specs you already developed and everything. You're going to complete the process regardless of anything that happens with the applicant because we've
And so
guaranteed
then
it from the
it's just
beginning.
finding another applicant. Yeah, and it's just finding another applicant after that then. And there's plenty
Well,
of
and
them
that'll be
out
the
there.
lender's problem, not the builder's.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
right. And there's plenty of them out there, I
And
swear.
there's
There's
plenty
plenty.
of them
And
out
and the
there. Yes.
there are plenty of them out there. I love that. Okay, any last words you'd like to share with us as we finish up our Beyond the Podcast?
No, I just continue to share that message with everybody listening. If you want to learn more about it, I've got a whole team. All we do is the marketing and training on this program, and we set these up, do them live, as in depth as you want to get on them. If you want something specific to single close, we'll do that. But we're here to help. We're not your typical government agency.
I bet you have to
That
say
came
that
off
quite
a
a
little
bit.
bad. It's kind of true too. That's all right.
No, we know what it means. We know, and we know what you're saying. I love that. So the best place for everyone to go is USDA.gov, correct?
Yeah, well, if you go to USDA/RD for rural development, and
HRT.
then from
Okay.
that main
US.
RD web page, you can just search through for the housing. The big drop down,
Okay.
because of course we
Sounds
do all
good.
sorts of programs, but
Yeah.
housing
Well, now I
really
want to
is
make sure that I give them the right, yeah, I give them the right website, to go to in the notes here. So great. Well, Dave, thank you so much for coming back on. And, I think what you said is, you wish you could share some stuff that's happening, that's coming out. So I would just say to everyone is follow Dave, follow USDA, make sure you're following them and seeing what kind of new information is being brought out, and put it on your calendar, maybe once a month, once every 3 months, check USDA rd.gov and go there and take a look and see what new has come out. And if there's training available, get involved in that training, because I can promise you, I just went to, I spoke down at Florida Association of Realtors last week with Tim Tebow, and 5,000 attendees, 5,000 real estate agents, the biggest expo I've seen in years and years, even pre-pandemic, biggest expo I've seen of vendors. Nobody was there with USDA, not a single person, because I went to every single one. I wanted to meet people. It's been so long since I've met people. So great event.
Yeah.
I promise
Unfortunately,
you.
we have a very small budget, so we do get out to some big conferences, but we can't make them all because we are budget limited.
But the thing is, there were tons of lenders there and nobody was talking USDA. That's a big market for somebody who, is saying, hey, look, I live sort of in a semi-rural area. I've got a rural area in my demographic, at least around that area. And this is a great opportunity for someone. So I appreciate you sharing it again. It was so great seeing you once again. And thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and we'll catch you next time.